What characteristics can we definitively classify as human? Put differently, what qualities do we possess that other beings lack? To answer these questions, one must understand that there are no easy answers. Even if some qualities are suggested, there is still intense debate around what makes us human and the scope of those qualities. Nevertheless, today's video will attempt to ascertain the distinctly human traits, qualities that ultimately separate us from the rest of the animal kingdom. The case will be made that there are two distinct qualities that stand above the rest. They are abstract thinking, which includes self-reflection, and transcendence, where one can transcend their nature or circumstances. Before reaching this point though, today's discussion will examine two other possible characteristics that may appear distinctly human, but are in actuality shared among other beings. Let us begin. The two characteristics that one could mistakenly categorize as uniquely human is compassion and mercy. Beginning with compassion, it is evident that numerous species in the animal kingdom possess a comparably similar level of compassion to that of humanity. Some argue that this compassion surpasses humanity's, while others are not so sure. Whether this is true or not requires further examination. Anyhow, maternal affection, to name one example, is present among a plethora of groups in the animal kingdom. Common examples are does looking after their fawns and mother bears looking after their cubs. The point is that compassion as a distinctly human trait can be debunked by observing other species in their natural habitats. Nevertheless, the proponents of compassion as a distinctively human trait may attempt to salvage their argument by throwing in the self-awareness factor. Human compassion is unrivaled because of our superior knowledge, they may say, and, therefore, we can execute monumental instances of unrivaled compassion. The rebuttal to this notion is that moments of compassion need not be executed through extensive planning or thinking, like the bestowing of lavish gifts, a fancy car, or house, to name a few examples. Fundamentally, compassion is marked by care and the desire for another to thrive. Therefore, species in the animal kingdom fall under the compassion umbrella, as they will go to great lengths to see their offspring survive. Not all species, mind you, but there were enough to refute the claim of compassion as a uniquely human trait. Enough about compassion. What about mercy? Is showing mercy a uniquely human characteristic? At first glance, yes, it would certainly appear that way. The typical predator-prey dynamic existent in the animal kingdom can be cited as evidence to support mercy as a uniquely human trait. Predators hunt their prey because it is in their very nature to do so. Furthermore, if they show mercy and let their prey escape, then they will starve. Nature is a very cruel environment, and the motto that is commonly attributed to nature is, "Kill or be killed." Very Darwinian indeed, but hold on a second. Is there truly no mercy in the natural environment? Or are we deluding ourselves? Possibly, as there have been examples of mercy demonstrated in the animal kingdom. One example that immediately comes to mind is one species of bird adopting the offspring of another. Instead of letting the young die, which would suggest lack of compassion and mercy, the parents of one species would adopt the young of another. A chicken adopting and raising a duck would be an example of this, and it has been documented. So, it seems that compassion and mercy are traits that can be discovered in the animal kingdom, and are therefore not distinctly human traits. One final objection that can be said about this matter is that compassion witnessed in nature is for selfish reasons, and thus cannot be compared to human altruism. This objection points to how acts of compassion in nature are often done to ensure group survival, and are not extended to other groups. Additionally, they are done on the promise that compassion will be reciprocated. Therefore, the compassion humans possess is superior because people can be altruistic to complete strangers, even going so far as to sacrifice their sense of self-preservation. The response to this last objection is that yes, indeed, animal compassion and mercy may not compare to humanity's in scale. However, it would be fallacious to assert that it does not exist. A much stronger case can be made for the next two examples being distinctly human, especially when compared to compassion and mercy. The two qualities that have the strongest case for being distinctly human are abstract thinking and transcendence. Starting with abstract thinking, humans possess the capability of imagining vast possibilities. We can visualize abstract ideas and then manifest them into reality. Undoubtedly, if we lack this important trait, there is no way we could have advanced to the extent that we have. Abstract thinking has enabled humanity to form complex societies, develop advanced technology, and ponder about what it means to be truly human. Indeed, we would not be having this discussion if we lacked this fundamental ability. Some animals possess advanced intelligence, like dolphins and sperm whales. While their intelligence is beneficial under the conditions in which they operate, there is no question that it falls short of humanity's intelligence. Abstract thinking and the self-reflection we are capable of is quite fascinating when you think about it. We can not only understand how we see ourselves, but we can paint pictures and tell stories to convey specific narratives. This ties into the second quality that can undoubtedly be classified as human: transcendence. Transcendence is important because animals, for the most part, act according to their natures. There is little deviance from their normal behavior and almost no possibility of transcendence. A tree cannot be more than a tree, a bear cannot aspire to be a lion, and vice versa. However, you as an individual can transcend your nature. Humans can transcend their natural qualities. They are capable of change. Here's an example. If someone is naturally lazy or prone to aggression, they can overcome those natural tendencies. In other words, you can resist the inborn temptations that seek to dictate your behavior. If you have felt extremely angry at someone or something, but held your tongue and suppressed your anger, congrats, you have performed transcendence. That is a basic example, but you get the picture. On a much grander scale, people have transcended their circumstances. You know, like the classic rags to riches success story. You have potential to be better than what you are, and that is most certainly a human quality. Now, with this realization also comes great responsibility. Knowing that you have great potential and can transcend your circumstances, are you going to do so? Are you going to have the courage to become better than you are? Or are you going to remain as you are, letting the transcendent potential escape your grasp? Once again, the choice is yours. To conclude, like always, the answers reached in this discussion are not irrefutable. There must be continued discussion and rumination about these ideas, especially due to the fact that more evidence may arise to the contrary. Even so, it is evident that every individual has untapped potential lying dormant inside them. Circumstances can be overcome, as numerous individuals are living proof of that statement. Unless a person gathers the courage to manifest that potential into reality, it will remain just that, and nothing more. Will you be among the majority who let it slip away, or will you be among the very few who achieve their full potential? It may sound crazy and far-fetched, but then again, so are most of our ideas. What is even more crazy and egregious is letting the opportunity slip through your grasp when you had the power to seize it.